So, one of the things about the October 2020 NSAS protest was the array of sounds and songs that sustained young people demanding an end to police brutality. I mean, there were DJs playing across protest grounds in the country, and many people curated their protest playlists on social media and music streaming sites. Which got me thinking, what is a protest song and what is Nigeria's relationship with protest music? Well, if you're interested, here's the history in 5 minutes. Now, just to make clear that while there are many things that can and should be protested, this session focuses on protest against government and political power. The question of what is a protest song can be very tricky to unravel because music, like other forms of art, is open to subjective interpretation. Granted, there are some songs like Lagbaja's 200 Million or African China's Mr. President that have clear protest and propaganda written in them. However, some songs like Davido's Femme, whose lyrics do not contain any political messaging, were effectively adapted in the NSAS protest. Also, the lyrics to Asha's Jailer are rather ambiguous as to any overt political propaganda. But Jailer was also deployed during the NSAS protest to make a point about the absurdity of the Nigerian police acting as jailers when they are also victims of the country's system of political, economic, and physical violence. However broadly or narrowly we choose to define protest music, Nigeria's social justice movement over the years has often come with a playlist to match. For example, while Nigeria was under colonial oppression, Abdulrafiu Babatunde King, who many credit as the father of Juju music, released Oba Onyibo, a song which ironically salutes the British king as the father of Nigerians. And in some of his other songs like Soja Idumota and Etijoluwe, Babatunde King also criticizes British imperialism and the system of colonization. After colonial rule, Nigeria's transition into self-governance was marred by military coups as well as the Nigerian Biafra War. And again, music marked these important times. Professor Ken Dibe, a Nigerian writer who lived through the war, talks about the important role that music played in this era. He says that songs were used to speak about the ingenuity of people and the unjustness of the enemies, and that parents and young adults often sang of their willingness to die at home. One of the most important protest songs of this era and in Nigerian history was Land of the Rising Sun, the Biafran national anthem, which was written by Nnamdi Azikiwe, and part of whose lyrics state, "Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish. Beloved homeland of our brave heroes, we must defend our lives or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes, but if the price is death for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear." Nigeria's string of military dictators also had their fair share of musical resistance. Fela Anikulapo Kuti was perhaps one of the most outspoken musicians of this time. His songs like Army Arrangement, Sorrow, Tears and Blood, Beast of No Nation leave no one in doubt about the disdain he felt for the military dictators. In Zombie, Fela likens military men to mindless killing machines. But here's the thing, protest music has not always found itself on the right side of history. For example, in Lady, Fela seems to be protesting the increasing westernization of the African woman and the rejection of what he clearly considers important cultural values. However, in the light of today's feminist and female liberation movement, the lyrics, quite frankly speaking, deserve an earful of reprimand, as he insists that the African woman is not equal to or as powerful as men, and men are the rightful masters of women. Lady demonstrates that protest music could be moment-specific, and what may be celebrated as truly revolutionary in one era could lose its effect or even become inappropriate with the passing of time. Now, while many people might like the idea of musicians contributing their art in support of social justice causes, some scholars like Gary Osebe, who is an African studies and specifically African music scholar, argue that the protest music culture may create room for opportunism by artists who only release political music when it seems trendy and not because they are really down for the cause. But the question is, do we really care about what inspires an artist so long as their music aids in fighting for what is right? Let me know your thoughts on this. Anyways, to round up, while we might not come out of this session with a clear definition of what qualifies as protest music, we hopefully have a fuller understanding of how music and musicians have helped shape and contribute to the social justice movement in Nigeria over the years. Until next time, cut. Well, that was fun.